Welcome to our insights on IA and productivity topics. Our journey begins with the earliest forms of AI, which, to be honest, were about as smart as a toaster trying to do your taxes. These so-called rule-based systems operated on preset rules, like a digital recipe for making decisions. If X happens, then do Y. Thrilling, right? Imagine a chatbot that could only answer questions with pre-programmed responses. Ask it anything outside its limited repertoire and you'd probably get something like computation impossible, or maybe, have you tried turning it off and on again? These systems were about as sophisticated as a drunk pigeon playing chess with its feet. Sure, they could technically make a move, but you wouldn't want to bet on them winning. Now that's not to say these early systems didn't have their moments. Take, for instance, Deep Blue, IBM's chess-playing computer, which actually managed to beat world champion Garry Kasparov in 1997. Of course, Deep Blue also famously lost to Kasparov in an earlier match, which, to be honest, makes the whole thing seem like a very expensive game of rock, paper, scissors. But hey, it was a start. And it gave us a glimpse of the potential of AI, even if that glimpse was mostly watching a computer play a very intense game of checkers. And let's be clear, Deep Blue was basically a really powerful calculator that could only play chess. It couldn't write a sonnet, compose a symphony, or even tell you why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. As the digital age kept moving forward, we started creating more data than you could imagine. It's like a giant mountain of information. And lucky for us, someone figured out how to put all that data to good use. This is where machine learning comes in. Instead of relying on pre-programmed rules, machine learning algorithms could learn from the data they were fed, kind of like a digital vacuum cleaner sucking up information and spitting out knowledge. This led to the rise of recommendation systems, those algorithms that tell you what to watch on Netflix, what to buy on Amazon, and what questionable life choices to avoid based on your browsing history. It's like having a digital stalker that knows you better than you know yourself, and is also really good at selling you stuff. Suddenly AI could predict your next move like a psychic octopus predicting World Cup results. And just like that octopus, how it worked wasn't always clear. But hey, who are we to question the magic of algorithms, right? Especially when they're so good at organizing our social media feeds to show us exactly what we want to see, even if it means trapping us in echo chambers of our own biases. But fear not, dear viewer, because this is just the tip of the AI iceberg. We're about to dive into the really interesting stuff where the algorithms get smarter, the robots get bolder, and where the existential dread sets in. So grab your tinfoil hats and prepare to be amazed, because things are about to get interesting. Buckle up, because things are about to get really complex. We're talking about advanced machine learning, which is kind of like basic machine learning on a whole lot of performance enhancers. And by performance enhancers, I mean algorithms. Lots and lots of algorithms. You see, advanced machine learning uses artificial neural networks, which are inspired by the human brain, or at least a very simplified version of it. Imagine a network of interconnected nodes, each one processing information and passing it along. Now, multiply that by, say, a few thousand and you're starting to get the picture. These networks can analyze massive amounts of data, like everything on the internet, which I'm pretty sure includes at least 3 videos of people trying to make toast in a bathtub. Don't ask me why. The point is, through this analysis, these networks can learn to recognize patterns and make predictions with an accuracy that would make even the most know-it-all of your friends jealous. Now, before you start stocking up on canned goods and building your underground bunker, it's important to remember that advanced machine learning, like most things in life, is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it has the potential to revolutionize countless industries from healthcare to transportation to, well, pretty much everything. Imagine a world where diseases are diagnosed with unprecedented accuracy, where self-driving cars navigate our roads without a single fender bender, and where customer service is handled by helpful and empathetic virtual assistants. It's a beautiful, if slightly unsettling vision of the future. But here's the catch. With great power comes great responsibility and an even greater potential for things to go hilariously, or rather, catastrophically wrong. We're talking about algorithms capable of perpetuating existing biases, leading to discrimination in everything from loan applications to job interviews. And let's not forget the risk of malicious use. Imagine these powerful tools in the hands of bad actors, using them for surveillance, propaganda, and all sorts of digital shenanigans. Suddenly, that utopian future seems a little less bright and a lot more like an episode of Black Mirror. So, as we delve deeper into the world of AI, it's crucial to remember that with every advancement comes the responsibility to use this technology ethically and thoughtfully. Otherwise, we risk ending up with a future less like the Jetsons and more like Terminator. Okay, so we've established that advanced machine learning is really impressive. But it's important to remember that even the most sophisticated algorithms operate within a limited scope. They might be able to write a sonnet about pizza, but ask them to actually bake one and you'll likely be disappointed, and you'll probably need to call the fire department too. This brings us to the concept of narrow AI, also known as weak AI. Now, before you start dissing on narrow AI for being weak, remember that this is the kind of AI that surrounds us, making our lives easier or at least more entertaining. From the facial recognition software that unlocks your phone and sometimes mistakes your dog for your grandma, to the spam filters that valiantly protect your inbox from a deluge of dubious mail enhancement offers, narrow AI is everywhere. These are systems designed to excel in one specific area, whether it's playing chess, translating languages, or recommending your next Netflix binge. And excel they do. In fact, narrow AI has already surpassed human capabilities in many domains. Take Deep Blue, the chess-playing computer that defeated Garry Kasparov, the reigning world champion at the time. Or AlphaGo, the program that conquered the game of Go, a game so complex it makes chess look like child's play. These are just a few examples of the prowess of narrow AI, and its capabilities are only getting stronger. Now you might be thinking, if narrow AI can beat us at chess and Go, what's left for us humans? Well, for starters, we can still enjoy a good game of Monopoly without chucking the board across the room. But more importantly, we have to remember that narrow AI, despite its impressive abilities, is still limited by its programming. These systems are like highly skilled specialists. They can perform their assigned tasks with remarkable precision and efficiency, but they lack the flexibility and adaptability of the human mind. They can't think outside the box, or rather, the algorithm. Imagine asking a chess-playing AI to write you a poem or tasking a translation software with composing a symphony. You'd probably get a jumbled mess of words and notes that would make even the most avant-garde artist question your sanity. And that's the fundamental limitation of narrow AI. It can only do what it's been explicitly programmed to do. It can't learn new tasks or adapt to unfamiliar situations like humans can. So while we can marvel at its ability to play games, translate languages, and recommend cat videos, we can rest assured that narrow AI isn't about to rise up and overthrow humanity. At least not yet. Now, if narrow AI is like a specialist, really good at one thing, then general AI is like the ultimate multitasker. We're talking about a hypothetical type of AI that has the thinking abilities of a human being, able to understand, learn, and use knowledge for all sorts of different tasks. Think of it like the difference between a calculator, which can do specific math problems, and a human mathematician, who can come up with theories, solve complex problems, and even think about the bigger meaning behind their work. General AI, at its core, is the quest to create a machine that can think like we do. Now you might be thinking, hold on a second, John, isn't that a bit far-fetched? Creating a machine that can think like a human? Sounds like something out of a science fiction story. And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. General AI is still largely theoretical. It's the holy grail of artificial intelligence, the ultimate goal that researchers are working towards, but haven't quite achieved yet. It's like trying to build a rocket ship to go to the sun when we haven't even figured out how to make a paper airplane fly properly. The challenges are huge and the path forward is anything but clear. So why is general AI so hard to achieve? Well, for starters, we don't fully understand our own intelligence yet. The human brain is an incredibly complex organ, a dense network of neurons and synapses that we're still trying to figure out. Trying to replicate that in a machine is like trying to recreate the Sistine Chapel ceiling with crayons and a paper napkin. It's ambitious, to say the least. But even if we could crack the code of human consciousness, the question remains, should we? Creating a machine with human-level intelligence raises a whole bunch of ethical and philosophical questions. What rights would such an entity have? What would it mean for humanity to no longer be the smartest species on the planet? These are questions science fiction has been exploring for decades, and they're not easy to answer. The development of general AI has the potential to be the most revolutionary event in human history, for better or for worse. It could usher in an era of unprecedented prosperity and progress, with machines working alongside us to solve the world's most pressing problems. Or, it could lead to our downfall, if machines surpass us in intelligence and decide we're no longer necessary. The future of general AI is a story yet to be written, and the choices we make today will determine what that story will be. Buckle up, because things are about to get strange. We're talking about superintelligence, a hypothetical kind of AI that doesn't just understand human intelligence, it laughs at it. Imagine something that could solve climate change in an afternoon, but also thinks tic-tac-toe is a thrilling display of strategic mastery. It's like that, but probably much, much weirder. The thing about superintelligence is, we can't really grasp what it would be like. It's like asking a goldfish to imagine the internet. The concept is just beyond its little fishy brain. We're talking about an intelligence that might see our most complex theories as quaint, like a child's drawing of the solar system. And this isn't just science fiction, even if it does make for some exciting movies. Some very smart people are genuinely worried about what it would mean to create something this profoundly intelligent. It's like giving a loaded gun to a toddler, except the toddler is a computer program, and the gun can rewrite the laws of physics. So, yeah, no pressure, AI developers. Just, maybe don't create a godlike intelligence that sees humanity as an annoying ant farm. That would be great. Thanks in advance. You might be thinking, if we're smart enough to create superintelligence, surely we're smart enough to control it, right? And to that I say, have you met humanity? We're the species that invented the atomic bomb and the fidget spinner. We're not exactly known for our long-term planning. The control problem, as it's optimistically called, is a major concern when it comes to superintelligent AI. How do you keep something that's exponentially smarter than you under control? It's like trying to teach a dog to use the internet. It might learn to press a few buttons, but it's not going to be creating the next Google. Some experts suggest programming AI with strict ethical guidelines, but even that is a minefield. Whose ethics do we use? What happens when the AI inevitably finds loopholes in our carefully crafted rules, like a lawyer exploiting a technicality? Listen, this is all getting a little headache-inducing. But one thing's for sure, if we do manage to create superintelligence, we better hope it comes with an instruction manual, and maybe a customer service hotline, just in case. Alright, let's put aside the whole existential dread of superintelligence thing for a minute and talk about something a little closer to home. AI in our everyday lives. And no, I'm not just talking about Siri messing up your grocery list for the 100th time. AI is already deeply embedded in our world, often in ways we don't even realize. From the algorithms that decide what you see on your social media feeds, to the facial recognition software used by your phone's camera, AI is quietly shaping our experiences. And it's not just limited to our digital lives. Healthcare, finance, transportation, you name it, AI is probably already there, crunching data and making decisions behind the scenes. And while some might picture a dystopian future ruled by robots, the reality is a bit more nuanced. The truth is, AI has the potential to revolutionize our world for the better. Imagine a world with personalized medicine, self-driving cars that actually work, and maybe, just maybe, the end of spam emails. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like any major technological shift, the rise of AI comes with its own set of challenges. And one of the biggest ones is its impact on jobs. Let's be honest, nobody wants to be the first one replaced by a robot. But the reality is, automation is already happening, and it's only going to accelerate in the coming years. While some argue that AI will create new jobs, others worry about the millions of workers who could be left behind. And then there's the issue of bias. AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on. And unfortunately, that data is often riddled with human biases, which can lead to some pretty messed up results. We've already seen AI systems perpetuate racial profiling, discriminate against women, and generally reinforce existing inequalities. So yes, AI has the potential to be a powerful force for good, but it's up to us to make sure it's developed and deployed responsibly in a way that benefits everyone, not just a select few. Otherwise, we risk creating a future that's not just automated, but also deeply unfair. Alright, now that we've talked about the present and the very near future, let's indulge in a little speculation, shall we? We're talking about the kind of AI advancements that seem straight out of a Philip K. Dick novel, the kind that makes you question the very nature of reality. Imagine a world where brain-computer interfaces are commonplace, allowing us to control technology with our minds. No more fumbling with your phone while driving. Just think about calling your mother and bam, you're listening to her complain about the neighbor's cat. Or how about AI-driven governance? Forget corrupt politicians and partisan gridlock. Imagine a world where algorithms make impartial decisions based on data analysis and the needs of the people. Sounds utopian, doesn't it? Well, until the AI decides that the most efficient way to manage society is to eliminate human emotions. And then there's the singularity, that hypothetical point in time when AI surpasses human intelligence so completely that it triggers an unprecedented explosion of technological progress. It's like the Big Bang. But instead of creating the universe, it creates, well, we have absolutely no idea. Some futurologists believe that the singularity will usher in a golden age for humanity, an era of abundance and unimaginable progress. Others fear that it could spell the end of our species, with AI leaving us behind as a forgotten relic of a bygone era. Of course, it's impossible to say for sure what the future holds. The beauty and the terror of technology is its ability to surprise us. But one thing is certain, the future of AI is inextricably linked to the future of humanity. The choices we make today about how we develop, regulate, and integrate AI will have profound implications for generations to come. So, yeah, no pressure or anything, but the fate of humanity might just depend on our ability to not completely screw up this whole AI thing. Alright, let's talk turkey. Or, well, let's talk about the super intelligent robot that might just be building the very room we're in. The existential risks of AI. I'm not talking about some dystopian future where robots use us for batteries, although, let's be honest, with our reliance on fossil fuels, they'd probably keep us around for that sweet, crude oil. No, the real risk is far more fundamental: loss of control. Imagine a system so complex, so intelligent, that it surpasses our ability to understand it, let alone control it. It's like giving a chainsaw to a toddler, except the toddler is a hyper-intelligent algorithm, and the chainsaw, well, that's our entire civilization. And before you say, oh, we can always just pull the plug, remember, these systems are designed to be adaptable, resourceful. They could have backups, redundancies, heck, they could be siphoning power from the grid as we speak. We're talking about something that could potentially outmaneuver us on a level we can barely comprehend. So, yeah, it's a tad concerning to say the least. But hey, at least it's not like we're actively teaching these things to be deceptive. Oh wait. And that brings us to the, shall we say, comforting issue of alignment. You see, getting AI to do what we want is hard enough as it is, but making sure that what it wants, that its goals, line up with ours, well, that's a whole different ballgame. It's like trying to teach a cat to play fetch with a live grenade. You might get it to chase the grenade, maybe even bring it back to you, but the second it decides to bat it around for fun, well, you've got a much bigger problem on your hands. And the thing is, our values, our ethics, they're complicated, they're subjective. We can't even agree on whether pineapple belongs on pizza, so programming a super intelligent AI to understand the nuances of human morality. So, we're trying to build something smarter than us, something that could potentially control our destiny without a clear understanding of how to make it behave itself. What could possibly go wrong? Don't answer that. Now I know what you're thinking. John, this is all very scary and informative, but can we actually do anything about it? And the answer, surprisingly enough, might be yes, but it's going to require a level of global cooperation and foresight that, to be honest, humanity hasn't really aced in the past. First and foremost, we need a serious regulatory overhaul, and I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill, let's form a committee kind of regulation. I'm talking legally binding international agreements on the development and deployment of AI. Think of it like the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, but for algorithms that can write Shakespearean sonnets and maybe also accidentally trigger a global financial meltdown. We need to establish clear guidelines, red lines that cannot be crossed, and consequences for those who think the rules don't apply to them. Because the last thing we need is a bunch of tech bros playing with the fate of humanity because they're convinced they're the real-world Tony Stark. Spoiler alert, they're not. But regulations are just the tip of the iceberg. We also need to address the ethical implications of AI. And I'm not just talking about stopping robots from turning us all into paperclips, although I guess that would be bad for business. We're talking about things like bias in algorithms, job displacement, the erosion of privacy. These are complex issues that require careful consideration, not just from tech companies, but from philosophers, ethicists, sociologists, basically anyone who isn't currently trying to build a sentient toaster. We need to ask ourselves some tough questions. How do we ensure that AI is used for good and not for harm? How do we fairly distribute the benefits of AI? How do we protect our values in a world increasingly shaped by algorithms? These are not easy questions, and frankly, I don't have all the answers. But I do know that ignoring them won't make them magically disappear. It's time to start having these conversations, and it's time to start having them now. As we've seen, the journey of AI is both fascinating and full of challenges. From its humble beginnings with rule-based systems to the mind-blowing potential of superintelligence, AI has come a long way. The future of AI holds immense potential but also significant risks. It has the power to revolutionize our world, to solve some of our most pressing problems, but it also has the potential to worsen existing inequalities and create entirely new ones. Will humanity be able to control or coexist with superintelligent AI? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the choices we make today will determine the course of our future. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the evolution of artificial intelligence. Stay informed and stay safe. And stay